Hey, hi Anil, this is Nikhil. Anand said me to give a demo to you. Actually, we don't have a time to catch up about this project. I mean, this is not so important, but I just want to show that I did a project like this. Well, coming to my project. To be brief about the project, it is just a website. The website contains which is related to a company. When a company sends an Excel sheet full of trades and transactions of different users, then the data in the Excel sheet should be stored in the database by the administrator. As well as at the same time, the admin has a privilege of controlling the data or viewing the data and notifying the data and the trades to the users or the companies. That is the part of the administrator side, whereas in at the user side, whereas clients view their transactions and their history. It's just a website which shows the transactions at the user side and which are at the administrator side. The transactions and the trades are organized in order to show perfectly without any misplacement. That's the motto of the project. So here is the demo. Well, there are three domains. One is administrator and user and register. Mainly register is unuseful, but the main thing happens in both of these two, which is administrator and user login. Coming to this administrator, actually administrator has five operations, which is uploading the transaction of the file. As I said, on the end of the day, he'll get the transactions. I mean, Excel sheet, which should be uploaded like this. This is our Excel sheet actually. Yeah, this is our Excel sheet1.xls. When the sheet is uploaded, it shows that the sheet is uploaded and stored successfully. As we can see that there was nothing before. I mean, before uploading the file. Now you can see that there are 10 rows which are uploaded and stored successfully in the database. This is one operation of the administrator, whereas coming to the another one, he can manage the trades of the users, like he can add a trade if he wants to, if the administrator of the or if the company wants to. And particular, I mean, in particularly for particular user he can add a trade instead of using the Excel sheet, which I don't recommend. Actually, it is not user friendly and it's vulnerable actually. And coming to the next operation in this page, where we can type a user ID and user email address. Since we can convert this user ID to first name and last name, checking first name and last name and getting the email ID directly, but I just unfortunately did this. And this is for checking the deviation. If, for example, let me tell you something. Yeah, uh, there are different transactions of, there are two users actually, Nikhil64 and Bharadwaj64. For example, we can take this. First he invested $300 on Apple and gained $700. And next AT&T $100, $500, 200,000. There was no deviation. I mean, big deviation. 500, 700, 500 to 1,000. Then this is still processing. This is not a big difference, right? When coming to Bharadwaj 64, there is a lot of difference. $7,000 he gained when he invested a $500 on Apple, and then on the next day he got $400 from 700, which is a lot of variation. So I just wanna Nikhil doesn't get any something like there is a deviation in your account or transaction or something like that. But whereas Bharadwaj 64 will get the notification something like this is the percentage of deviation from the previous transaction. So just why don't you just check your mail. So let me show you the demo. For Nikhil 64, there is no big deviation in trading. Okay, whereas for Bharadwaj, this is the situation actually. Now this is my email, and yeah, there is a deviation in trading. Email has been sent to the user. Okay, there is a new email stating that Nickel 64. Um, Actually, I had Bharadwaj 64. This is sorry. This is wrong. Compared with your previous trade, the deviation is 27%. Check the transaction by visiting our website. This is the type of notification which he got, as his deviation is higher, and we can check the transactions by this. And moreover, we can generate, the administrator can generate the transactions of Acer company total transactions, or something like Apple. Yeah, Apple company. And even he can email the company that stating that those details, like stating Apple details, like this. He can email, administrator can email to the company, the company transaction report has been sent successfully. Okay, yeah, yeah, this. Hello, the trades are total trades are as follows. The invested amount on your company was this, and gained amount from your company is this, and usage at something blah blah blah. This is one more type of notification to the company actually. This is the fifth one and the last operation of the administrator, whereas he can view the all trades of the companies, like he can see what is the total invested amount till now, what is the total gained amount till now from this company. This is one more operation. And this is the administrator side. Well, coming to the user side, I gave a, this is a wrong email ID, I mean user ID, because Nikhil64 exists but Nikhil underscore N64 doesn't exist. So I'll just show the invalid credentials validation. I just added a filter. The advantage of user login is, after every transaction, the user can view what is his logging in is. He can view the transactions in his own currency, actually something like this. All the transactions in the market happens in USD, right? Whereas coming to when a user logs in, he can see the both the US dollars, and he can also see the transaction or the gained amount from this transaction in his own currency. In his case it is rupees, and for viewing his transactions he can check by clicking on history. You can see all the history, what are on date wise, what happened on which date, and something like that. That in both, while viewing the history, you can also see this is the current, this is the native currency rate which he got or he gained amount, and this is the market rate. The This is the only advantage which only user can have, whereas administrator cannot see what was the currency he is in, what is the currency amount. In the same way, I added the other users in something like, I'll show you. Whoa, wait, easy. Okay, yeah, there are few different users, something like, okay, few are from. In the same way, I added different users who are from different countries. And this is the login, user login. We completed administrator login. Now register. A new user can give valid credentials and get registered, so that so that he can view the same way, like he can log in and he can view the transactions instead of calling the company and asking what is going on with my details and all, what was the status of my transaction in that way. So this project is simple. I used Java as my programming language, and MySQL as my database, and I added HTML files, something like admin login HTML, admin home HTML, and in order to handle their operations, I added JSP files, and for giving a style sheets, I added a CSS3. I use CSS3. In order to upload a file, upload the Excel sheet, I used Apache POI and DOM4J. I used SMTP mail protocol in order to show that, in order to give the updates to the user as well as the companies. And I used a little JavaScript in order to give alerts of popping up and stuff. I used style sheet as I said already. Coming to the database, I used MySQL. Here we can see the rows are imported when the file is uploaded. Something like, yeah, all the statements, these are the statements which are given in order to execute the SQL statements, or in order to retrieve the data or store the data. Well, this is pretty much it. This is my project, and if you have any queries or if you have any opinion, you can share with me when we meet in person.